Alright, this is a topic I'm excited to talk to you guys about today. We're talking about hypertrophy, which is basically muscle growth, and understanding the different ways that you can achieve muscle growth, and how you can incorporate them differently depending on, whether it be your gym, lack of a gym, things like that. So let's go right into this. Hypertrophy. Alright, so the first part we're going to be talking about is going to be mechanical tension. This is what you're going to see most of the time in the gym. Most people are just adding on more and more weights. It's a progressive overload by adding heavier weights. So you get the mechanical tension through first heavier weights, 2 by using a lower rep range, and there's longer rests in between. So these are not sets that are taken to failure. They're usually in like the 5 to 10 rep range, but because you're using such heavy weight, it uses a lot of tension inside of your muscles to control that weight, even for just 5 to 10 reps. So it's using a lot of those fibers in your muscle in order to control it, which makes them, makes those smaller fibers break and regrow. Second is going to be, what am I doing? Okay, metabolic stress. This is going to be more in the higher rep range, and what this is, as opposed to the mechanical tension, is that you're keeping a constant tension on your on the muscles. So instead of doing a bicep curl, curling it all the way to the top and then going all the way to the bottom, you don't lock it out at the top and you don't go all the way to the bottom, because when you lock it out, you're releasing the stress on the muscle. It's like getting a little mini break for your muscle when you lock it out. So instead of that, you stay kind of in that, like, you go between like 20% and like 90% or 80%. So you don't fully lock it out or fully contract, and you keep that constant tension on the muscle while you're doing the reps. And this is going to be in the higher rep range, usually 12 to 25. So if you think about it, if you're keeping a constant tension on the muscle, and let's say each rep takes 4 seconds, you have 4 seconds, and let's say you do 12 reps. That's 48 seconds, almost a minute, of constant time under tension for your muscle for that set. It's a lot of time for your muscle to be under stress and tensed. And say you were to do 25 reps, that's a minute and 40 seconds of constant tension for your muscle. Like, that's a long time for your muscle to be holding that constant tension. So this is more about less on the weight and more about putting stress on your actual muscle. This one also has shorter rest times, because the idea is you don't want your muscles to fully recover. You don't want ATP to fully regenerate, and you don't want blood to leave the area. The idea is to build up all this stress, which is going to break down the muscle and facilitate muscle growth. So then you go to muscle damage, and this is actually achieved through metabolic stress and through mechanical tension. If you have proper, if you're doing the mechanical tension and the metabolic stress properly in your training, you will already be achieving muscle damage. But if you wanted to take it a step further and induce muscle soreness, that's what this does. It induces a soreness in the muscle. That's what it's made to do. And you do that by doing slow eccentrics. So an eccentric is pretty much like for a bicep curl, the eccentric is when you're lowering. It's harder for your muscle. We have more strength in lowering, and so in order to capitalize on that, like say you're doing a bench press, I think it's 2 times stronger. You're definitely stronger. I want to say 2 times stronger on the lowering and controlling that much weight on the lowering side of that bench press than you have pushing it back out, locking it back out. So in order to capitalize on that and to make your muscles even more sore and induce hypertrophy even faster, is to make it harder for you in that lowering phase where you're stronger. So taking that phase where you're lowering down, slowing it down, so maybe it's 4 seconds. So instead of going down, up, it's down, 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 up. So you're putting your muscles into a stressed environment for longer time, basically. So taking 4 seconds on the eccentric, and then just 1 second normal for the concentric. So it's an easy way to just take it a step further and capitalize on the phase of the movement that you're stronger in, and to make it even more hard for you to I guess control that movement, because you're putting more stress and longer time on that. Usually the mid-range reps, and then these sets generally are not taken to total failure. These sets, the metabolic stress, you can take these close to or to failure, and then these are going to be very low reps. You don't want to take these to failure because there's no need. So 3 different ways to induce hypertrophy. Muscle growth. So, if you only have low reps or low weight dumbbells, or maybe don't have access to a gym, using the metabolic stress is going to be very effective for you to build muscle, because you don't have access to the heavier weights. Ideally, you want to be cycling through all of these so that you're hitting all the different rep ranges. You're hitting all of the different weight ranges, and yes, to keep your body guessing as well. So that you want to basically be able to do all of these in a cyclical fashion, so that you can capitalize the most on hypertrophy and building muscle. So hopefully that was helpful for you.